ಯಾಕಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ we don't have a lot of time. So
ಎಷ್ಟೊತ್ತಿಗೆ ನೀವು 10 minutes should I give you
ನಾನು ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ. ಸೊ ನನಗೆ ಏನು ಟಾಪಿಕ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಅಂದರೆ ಆಕ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಇಮೋಷನ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಮೆನ್. ಸೊ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ that I will talk very quickly because ನೀವು ಓದಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, so I will just name those and what those are, and then we will look at that in Vikramorvashiya really quickly. Like we'll go through all 5, concentrating on Act 4, but we will go through all 5, and then we'll look at how Kalidasa treats Pururava, the hero, in Vikramorvashiya. Adadmele that will probably take 20 minutes ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. Then we will talk about male-oriented javalis and padams in Bharata. I want to stick to what I know. So I will talk because I feel like in a lot of these old texts they assign just certain emotions for men, you know. So I want to go beyond that and then say, but there are other things that other people wrote, and here it is, right? So I will mention a few padams and javalis that are male-oriented, like the character is like a man. And then, if I have time, I'll talk about Bharata and Manasa, like what I have done to bring in more emotions that I like to show quickly. So all that would be another 15 minutes. And I will talk about 2 sentences or 2 minutes on athleticism in Bharatanatyam.
Sure.
I think it's very, you will understand when I say what I say. After that, I will present for 5 minutes. I'll present Ditsa Sanchari from my last one. It is not male-oriented; it is heroine.
It is heroine.
And then we have another 5 minutes for you guys to like talk about it and maybe feedback. Yeah. So, okay, Elru. Yeah, it is not. We'll talk about it. So, acting emotions of men. ಏನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂದರೆ 8 ಹೆಸರು ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. One is Shobha, which is skill, bravery, energy, contempt for mean things. That's Shobhe Tarodu for a man. And Vilasa, it is like kind of like Vilasa that Chinmay talked about, but here he's like bold, he has a look in his eyes, a gait, he is very manly, speaking with a smile, so all that Vilasa, right? And Madhurya, so kind of like again what Chinmay talked about, but understanding nature, firm wherever he needs to be, and then things like that. Stairya, kind of like makes sense. Sticking to, this guy says, sticking to ways of dharma, artha, kama is Stairya. Gambhirya, pretty straightforward also. Lalita, so Bharata says, when in love, there is Lalita for a man. Audarya, again, pretty straightforward. Charity, large-heartedness, sweet words towards friends, and even considering enemies as friends, things like that. Audarya. And Tejas, not tolerating, even at the risk of one's own life, humiliation and insult by others. So that he calls Tejas, but I think you can look at it in many different ways. So these are the 8 that Bharata mentions. For me, this is probably not Bharata, but maybe added a little later. But we don't need to talk about it much. So what I want to do is I want to look at Pururava and how Kalidasa treats Pururava and how he brings these qualities. And there are 2 reasons mainly for why I picked Vikramorvashiya and not Abhinaya. One is you covered Abhinaya, and the second is I believe Pururava has lot more going on for him than Dushyanta. Yenandre, he goes mad at some point, literally like goes mad, because Urvasi, he cannot see Urvasi anywhere. So he thinks she has left him. So he becomes mad. And that whole Act 4 is where he is acting mad. And Kalidasa has brought this beautifully, still keeping all these, some of these things, that 8 types of things we saw, active emotions for men, intact within that going mad. So that is the reason why I want to, why I picked Vikramorvashiya. So ನಾನು ಕಾಳಿದಾಸನ ಕಥೆ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ ಫಸ್ಟ್ಗೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ each act by act, and then I'll read some of these shlokas or poems. He calls kavya in between this nataka, and we'll see. So first act, obviously Kalidasa has to set set that this guy is a veera, right? Mandatory for any man, right? So he does that. In Act 1 ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಊರ್ವಶಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ಕೆಲವು ಅಪ್ಸರಸ್ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಕುಬೇರನ ಮನೆಯಿಂದ ದೇವಲೋಕಕ್ಕೆ. Then they are attacked by Rakshasas, and then some minor characters say, oh, we hear someone shouting for help, and then, oh, someone's coming for help, oh, this is Pururava. Hage introduction ide, and then Pururava says to 2 of the apsaras that are left behind that don't worry, I will go fetch them. I will go fetch the apsaras that are stolen by Rakshasas. Anta heli, then he will come back. He will come back. When he comes back, there are 2 apsaras that are stolen with him. One of them is Urvashi, and that is the one Velar is set. He has defeated Rakshasas, so the Velar of that guy is set. And then this is in the first act itself. This is where he meets Urvashi and falls in love, and she also kind of like falls in love with him. So that's what happens in the first act. So I want to read couple of shlokas here. Let's see what I want to. Yeah, so we talked about Velar. Pururavaniಗೆ dialogue ide. Don't worry, I am Pururava. Coming back after worshipping the sun, tell me who's threatening you. So there is a song for him. What he says is excellent. At this speed, we could overtake the great eagle Garuda, even if Rakshasas had a big head start. Let alone this demon even if eagle had a big head start, let alone this demon who has offended Indra. And the poem is, clouds turn to dust as my chariot speeds through the sky. Wheels turning so fast I see spokes within spokes. Still, like a painting, all are the feathers tied to the horses' heads. And my flag, as if held by 2 poles, is stretched taut by the wind. Samskrita odbeka? Or just okay to move on? Okay. So what I'm saying, the point here is, the Veera is setting the first act, right? Adadmele, in the first act, Urvashi will has to go back because she has to go back to Devaloka. That's it. And before second act, there is a prelude. Again, now last time ನೋಡಿದ್ವಿ ಏನಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಭರತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದ ಏನೇನು ಆಗುತ್ತೋ ಅದನ್ನ ಕೆಲವೆಲ್ಲ ಆಗೋದನ್ನ ಸ್ಟೇಜ್ ಮೇಲೆ ತೋರಿಸಬೇಡಿ, ಅದನ್ನ ಮೈನರ್ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ ತಂದು ಅದರ ಮೂಲಕ ತೋರಿಸಿ ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ದೇರ್ ಇಸ್ ಎ ಪ್ರಿಲ್ಯೂಡ್ ಟು ದ ಆಕ್ಟ್ 2. ಸೊ 2 ಮೈನರ್ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಬೇಸಿಕಲಿ ವಿದೂಷಕ ನಿಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತು ಏನಾಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ, ಊರ್ವಶಿ ಮೇಲೆ ಪ್ರೀತಿಯಾಗಿದೆ ಪುರೂರವನಿಗೆ ಅಂತ. ರಾಣಿಗೆ ಆಕೆ ಹೀಗಿದ್ದಾನೆ ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ರಾಣಿಯದ್ದು ಸೇವಕಿ ಬಂದು ವಿದೂಷಕ ಮತ್ತೆ ರಾಣಿ ಸೇವಕಿ ದೇ ಮಾತಾಡ್ಕೊತಾರೆ. Then the secret spills out. So that's how we know by this prelude that now the queen will also know the truth ಅಂತ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. So in the second act that follows this prelude, ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ Pururava is suffering from separation, and Urvashi ಕೂಡ is paining from the separation. So she comes down with her I think Chitrangada or Chitrasena, Chitraleka, jote bartale, and then they meet again, and then at this point Queen also comes because she knows this truth, right? So Urvashi will leave. ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಕ್ವೀನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾಳೆ ನೀ ಯಾಕೆ ಇದು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಇದೆ ಏನಿದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ she is offended a little bit for other reasons. She doesn't say this is because of Urvashi. ಪುರೂರವ ಅವಳದು ಕಾಲಿಗೆ ಬೀಳ್ತಾನೆ, ಕೋಪ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಡ ಅಂತ. So again I think what Kalidasa is doing here is setting the standard of Pururava, where he is actually falling to the feet of his own queen. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅಷ್ಟು ರೆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾನೆ ಅಂತ. ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಡೈಲಾಗ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ later. I'll in later act, and I will read it at that point. But unlike Dushyanta, who was not married, who marries his first wife is Shakuntala.
No,
okay. Here, it is not.
No,
so I don't know why that didn't come there.
ಶಕುಂತಲೆನ ಕಳಿಸಬೇಕಾರೆ ನೀನು ಬೇರೆ ರಾಣಿಯರ ಜೊತೆ ಎಲ್ಲ
he has many other queens. He has many other queens. Actually, first ಯಾರು primary queen ಅನ್ನೋ ವಿಷಯ ಬರಲ್ಲ. There's one verse about Hamsapadike who is like third or fourth, whoever was a previous favorite before Shakuntala.
Okay.
Shakuntala
Kalidasana ನಾಟಕದಲ್ಲೇ
ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು verse where Hamsapadike tells, okay, Dushyanta he must have found someone else other than me. ಅಂತ ಒಂದು reference ಬರುತ್ತೆ.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Illi getting his wife's permission is a big thing. So she is the queen, and Urvasi jote irake getting the permission, there is so much going on there, right? So Kalidasa is obviously trying to say something that he wasn't doing in Abhinaya Shakuntala. So interesting. I am not sure why. I thought maybe Dushyanta wasn't married.
Yeah, and maybe because Urvashi is not a real regular normal character, normal earthly being. ಅದಕ್ಕಿರಬಹುದು. Maybe that is the reason. Versus Shakuntala or someone else.
Right.
Rajrig, it was okay.
It was accepted that they.
Kuda Rajane.
Yeah, but she's.
But you are celestial being, Allah. She's
not a regular human.
The court of Indra alva ಅವರು.
So I'm not sure.
I don't know.
ಇನ್ನೊಂದೇನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ what I think is all these things, I don't think he just wrote them. I think there's a reason. Why politically there is something going on. He's writing in taking some mythological story and then doing it, but it alludes to something politically going on, right? Quite possibly, which is what goes on with Shakespeare. Everything he writes is kind of like pointing to other things going on.
ಅಗ್ನಿಮಿತ್ರನಲ್ಲಿ ಅದು
ಮಾಲವಿಕನ ಅಗ್ನಿಮಿತ್ರನು ಇದೆ ಹಾಗೆ. He is married and there is a Sevaki.
Agnimitra was a king.
Yeah.
Kalidasa lived probably in that era.
correct.
Yeah.
And he wrote
Something like that.
based on some. These characters are based on those people.
And it could be something like that here too, right? Whoever the king was at the time, he went on a Bete Goda, he saw some beautiful girl, and he Kalidasa wrote Shakuntala. Possible. Anyway, let's move on. That's all conjecture here, right? So anyway, in the second act, he is suffering from love, and meet Urvasi again. His queen is angry towards him, and he treats her very well even with that. And that is the second act. That's it. And Urvasi has to leave. That is the second act. And then there is a poem that I want to read in their second act. Itu again Pururavande Kavya. Deep inside, this heart of mine is riddled with arrows of love. How can I fall asleep? How can I see her in my dream? A film of tears will cloud my eyes long before I finish painting that perfect face. So basically, clown is acting like clownish. He says, if you are missing her so much, why don't you go sleep? She will come in your dream. So this is the answer that king has for that. And so on how he treats his wife, there is a shloka. So that I want to read. And It is
ಐದು ಅಂಕ ಇರ್ಬೇಕಲ್ಲ ವಿಕ್ರಮೋರ್ವಶೀಯ.
ಐದು
ಅಂಕ ಇದೆ.
ಐದು ಅಂಕ. So again ಪುರೂರ ಒಂದು. ಸೊ ಕ್ಲೌನ್ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ನಿಂದು ರಾಣಿ ಹೊರಟೋದು ಒಳ್ಳೇದಾಯ್ತು ನಿನ್ಗೆ, ಇವಾಗ ನೀನು ಊರ್ವಶಿ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು ಅಂತ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಕಿಂಗ್ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ಹಾಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಡ, even though I am in love with Urvashi, I still have a lot of respect for the queen. Still, I fell at her feet and she walked away from me. I have my pride. So anta heltane. So it is kind of like, he is also, I feel like he is, how he treats
Dhirodatta.
Explain ಮಾಡಿ Dhirodatta. He was exactly like that.
Okay. So there was, great.
ನೀವು
ನಾಲ್ಕು ತರ ನಾಯಕರು. ಧೀರೋದಾತ್ತ,
ಧೀರಲಲಿತ.
This was last week's. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ನೊಂದೇನು ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, Bharata is mentioned by Kalidasa in Vikramorvashiya in Act 2. So kind of like maybe Urvashi ಯಾಕೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾಳೆ ವಾಪಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, she has come down, right, to see Pururava. She has to go back ಯಾಕಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ಹಿಂದೆ ನೇಪಥ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಸೇವಕರು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಭರತ ನಿಮ್ಮನ್ನ ಕಾಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ ಲಕ್ಷ್ಮೀ ಸ್ವಯಂವರದ್ದು ನಾಟಕ ಸೆಟ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ, ಬೇಗ ಬನ್ನಿ ಅಂತ. So that is the reason for them to go. So he says Bharata. Right?
Yeah, Bharata, Natyashastra first chapter ಬರೋದೇ ತಾನೆ. He puts up the show called Lakshmi Swayamvara.
ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ ಲಕ್ಷ್ಮೀ ಸ್ವಯಂವರ ಅನ್ನಲ್ಲ, ಬೇರೆ ಲಕ್ಷ್ಮಿ ಸಮಥಿಂಗ್ ಲಕ್ಷ್ಮಿ chose her husband ಅಂತ ಬೇರೆ ಇದೆ ನೇಮ್. ಬಟ್ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ tidbit of information ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಸ್ತು ನನಗೆ. Then Act 3. Act 3ಗೆನೂ ಪ್ರಿಲ್ಯೂಡ್ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲೇನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ಇವಾಗ ರಾಣಿ ಕೋಪ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗಿದ್ದಾಳೆ. She realizes that this is bad, right? ಅವನು ಕಾಲಿಗೆ ಬಿದ್ದಾನೆ, ನಾನು ಎತ್ಕೊಂಡ್ ಬಂದಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ಅವಳು ನೆವ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು, ಏನೋ ಒಂದು ಪೂಜೆ ಮಾಡೋ ರಿಚುವಲ್ ಇದ್ದು ನೆವ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಅವನ್ನ ಬರಕ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾಳೆ. ಸೊ ದೆನ್ there she says, I give you permission, if you are going to be happy, then I will give you permission to be with whoever you want to be. I will not have jealousy over them ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಹೋಗ್ತಾಳೆ. So that giving permission seems to be very important for some reason. Also, once she leaves, actually before she gets there, Urvashi has also come. She is yarigu kanista illa avಳು. She has hidden. And then when queen leaves, Urvashi shows herself to king, and then they unite. That is the third act. But third act ಮೊದಲು prelude ಇದೆ. ಆ prelude ಅಲ್ಲಿ again ಇಬ್ರು ಭರತಂದು ಶಿಷ್ಯರು ಇಬ್ರು ಬಂದು ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಕಥೆ ಮುಂದುವರ್ಸಕ್ಕೆ. ಅವ್ರು ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ಒಬ್ಬ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಹೇಗಾಯ್ತು ನಾಟಕ ಲಕ್ಷ್ಮೀ ಸ್ವಯಂವರ ಅಂತ, ಇನ್ನೊಬ್ಬ ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳೋದು ಮಾರಾಯ, ಊರ್ವಶಿ ಲಕ್ಷ್ಮೀ ಪಾತ್ರ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು, ನೀನ್ ಯಾರನ್ನ ಚೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿ, ಇಷ್ಟು ಮಂದಿ ಜನ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಪುರುಷೋತ್ತಮ ಹೇಳೋ ಬದಲು ಪುರೂರವ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನಾಯ್ತು ಹಾಗೆ ಹೇಳಿದಾಗ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಭರತನಿಗೆ ಸಿಟ್ಟು ಬಂದು ಕರ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ದ, ನೀನು ಪುರೂರವ ಅಂತ ಮನುಷ್ಯ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳಿದೀಯ, ಭೂಲೋಕ ಅಂತ. ಇಂದ್ರ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಕರುಣೆ ತೋರಿಸಿ ಹೇಳ್ದ, ನೀನ್ ಹೋಗಿ ಅವನ ಜೊತೆ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ನಿನ್ಗೆ ಮಗು ಆಗೋವರೆಗೆ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಕಮ್ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ prelude before third act, ಆಯ್ತಾ. Then in third act, like all the things I said happens. I don't think there is any poem I want to read, even though you should read it. It's beautiful. Some of those poems are beautiful, but we have plenty to read in Act 4. So by the end of Act 3, 20 minutes agide already. By the end of Act 3, ಏನಾಗಿದೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, they have united. Urvashi and Pururava are together, alva. So ಇವಾಗ Act 4 ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ಅವರಿಬ್ರು ಅಗೇನ್ ಪ್ರಿಲ್ಯೂಡ್ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಪ್ರಿಲ್ಯೂಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ಏನಾಯ್ತಂತೆ, ಆಗುದೇನು ಪುರೂರವ ಮತ್ತೆ ಊರ್ವಶಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಒಂದು ಕಡೆ ಪಿಕ್ನಿಕ್ ತರ ಹೋಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಏನೋ ಹೆಸರಿದೆ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಇದ್ದು. ಅಂಡ್ ಪುರೂರವ ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಹುಡುಗಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದವಳನ್ನ ಒಂದು 2 ಕ್ಷಣ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ನೋಡಿದ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಊರ್ವಶಿಗೆ ಕೋಪ ಬಂದಿದೆ. ಅವಳು ಎತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಓಡೋಗಿದ್ದಾಳೆ. ಓಡೋಗ್ತಾ ಅವಳಿಗೆ ಕರ್ಸು ಇಂದ ಈ ಒಂದು ಭರತನ ಕರ್ಸಿಂದ ಅವಳಿಗೆ ಕೆಲವೆಲ್ಲ ಮರ್ತೋಗಿದೆ. She has gone into the grove of Kumara, where any female who enters that grove turns into a creeper ಅಂತ. So Urvasi is now a creeper. ಪುರೂರವನಿಗೆ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಏನೂ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. So ಪುರೂರವ ಆ ಗ್ರೋವ್ಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ is searching for her. He has gone mad anta. So this is the prelude to Act 4. This is spoken between Urvasi's friend Apsara ಮತ್ತೆ Apsara ಇನ್ನೊಂದು Apsara, ಇಬ್ರು Apsara. So they are wondering what happened to Urvasi, and then they think, because they are goddesses, they know what's going on. So these are the things that they talk about. ಇವಾಗ 4 ಅಲ್ಲಿ is entirely it's a huge act, act number 4. It seems like number 4 act is supposedly most important for Kalidasa. Maybe ನೀವು ಕೂಡ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಿ, ಬೆಳಗ ಒಂದು 2-3 ಗಂಟೆ ಹೊತ್ತಿಗೆ ಆಗೋದೆಲ್ಲ is very interesting ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ to keep guys awake, right? ಹಾಗೆಂತನೂ ಇರ್ಬೋದು. I don't know what's the
towards climax.
Towards climax, but ಬೇರೆ ಅಂಕ 5 ಇದೆ, ಅದು ಉದ್ದ ಇದೆ, ಅದು ಕ್ಲೈಮ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ. But here he brings so many things. He brings Pururava going mad. There are so many shlokas, and those are beautiful. And what he does, what Kalidasa does, is couple of things. One is ಎಲ್ಲ dialogue ಕೂಡ ಪುರೂರವಂತೆ. Some of the dialogues don't make any sense, like to give the idea that this guy has gone crazy. And some of the dialogues make perfect sense. And some of them, he's telling what's going on, right? And what he's also doing is he's looking at what's going on. He's searching for her. So ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಏನೇನೆಲ್ಲ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ. ಒಂದು ಆನೆ ಇದೆ, ಆನೆ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ. But that is a metaphor to himself. So ಆನೆಗೆ ಏನಾಗ್ತಿದೆ ಅದು ಅವನಿಗೂ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. So Kalidasa, not just simile, there are so many similes we will see, but he brings in also metaphors so beautifully. So ಇಲ್ಲೊಂದು ಕೆಲವು ಶ್ಲೋಕಗಳಿವೆ that I want to read. So ನೋಡೋಣ ಯಾವುದು ಅಂತ. We don't have a lot of time. I will wrap up in 5 minutes for sure. At least this one. Okay. ಇದು ಕಾವ್ಯ ಒಂದು. The young goose is grieving, shaking his wings in the water, eyes seared by tears, holding in his heart the agony of separation. So ಇದು ಅವನು ನೋಡಿ ಒಂದು ಗೂಸ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು, but it applies to himself. ಒಂದು ಇದು ನೋಡ್ತಾನೆ, this is looking at something and then metaphor, right? And then he looks at a cloud and he thinks it's a demon, so he's going crazy ಅಂತ prove ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ. This is not ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ, stop you miserable demon, where are you going with my beloved? Looking up, it's terrible, he's flown into the sky from the mountain top and is now raining down arrows on me. So ಗೊತ್ತಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ, this is not demon, it's a cloud heavy with rain. Here is a rainbow across the sky, not a warrior's bow. It's sharp rain falling on me, no arrows. It's lightning I see, like a streak of gold, not my Urvasi. So one kade doesn't make sense. He's blaming the cloud for taking Urvasi, thinking it's demon, to prove he is going mad. Innೊಂದು ಕಡೆ makes perfect sense. Oh, this is not cloud, this is not demon, this is a cloud, it's raining, all his dialogues, right? So basically 3 things. Hige there are many things that fit within these 3 things that we talked about. Innೊಂದು ಕಾವ್ಯ, she must be somewhere nearby, hiding from me in her anger. She has that power, but she won't stay angry for long. Has she flown back to heaven? She's too much in love with me. The innondu, to justify she may not have gone. Innondu shloka, I can read all the Sanskrit, but I think you guys should read it yourself. An elephant king, distanced from his mate, heavy with sadness, heavy with longing, walks slowly through the mountain forest, burning with flowers. through the mountain forest burning with flowers. Red straight flowers glistening in the rain. The banana tree reminds me of her eyes, welling tears of anger. ಮಳೆ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಮಳೆ ತೊಟ್ಟಿಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ ಇದರಿಂದ. So he says this looks like her eyes that are welling up with tears. So kind of like a simile there. Ignore it. I think we should read this Sanskrit also, but this is beautiful. If her feet have touched this forest earth, soaked with rain, there must be marks. A little deeper at the heel, because of her heavy hips, and traced with lac. So he's looking at the, like, ನೆಲ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಎಲ್ಲಿದೆ, ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಂಪಿದೆ, ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಇದಾಗಿದೆ, ಹೀಲಿದ್ದಾಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ. And Sanskrit shloka of that is also beautiful. Grieving with this fine elephant that could stop his enemies in their tracks, hungry to see his mate, wanders in a daze. So ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಹೀಗೆ ಸುಮಾರಿದೆ. Peacock, you have bright eyes. Her eyes are very long. Your neck is dark. Hers is long and elegant. She is dazzling. Have you seen her anywhere in the forest? So he goes to every inanimate object and animal and asks, oh, ನೀನು ನೋಡಿದ್ಯಾ ಅಂತ. There are so many of those kavyas. This is probably the longest act also, and all of it is like that. And this is, he's talking to ಇನ್ನೊಂದು interesting ಏನಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, in between these kavyas, Kalidasa ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ, Pururava does a dance of charchari anta. I don't know what that's charchari. It could be the charchara of later. There was a folk dance called charchara later, which actually continued into like almost like 18th century. So it could be that. But this tells us that the drama, which we already know, drama was at the time singing, dancing, and dialogue, everything. So I think there is plenty I can read, so I'm going to just skip this act. But if you get a chance to read that, for completeness sake, I'll talk about the Act 5 ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ. So Act 5, so end of Act 4, ಒಂದು ಋಷಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ from the ನೇಪಥ್ಯ they say, we sent you a money, pick it up, it's there ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ. ಇವನು ಪಿಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ, ಅದನ್ನ ಪಿಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಹೀಗೆ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತಾನೆ. ದಿಸ್ ಒನ್ ಕ್ರೀಪರ್ he finds it very beautiful. He says, ಯಾಕೆ ನನಗೆ ಇದನ್ನು ನೋಡಿದೆ, ಈ ಕ್ರೀಪರ್ ನೋಡಿದಾಗ ಇಂಥ ಭಾವನೆಗಳಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಅದನ್ನ ಮುಟ್ತಾನೆ. Then it becomes ಊರ್ವಶಿ. ಸೊ ಶಾಪ ವಿಮೋಚನೆಗೆ ಪಾರ್ವತಿ ಲ್ಯಾಕ್ ಅವ್ರದ್ದು ಇದು ಹಾಕಿದ್ದು, ಕೆಂಪು ಹಾಕಿದ್ದು ಒಣಗಿ ಕ್ರಿಸ್ಟಲ್ ಆಗಿರೋದಲ್ವಾ, that is the ಶಾಪ ವಿಮೋಚನೆ for this curse. So all that happens in Act 4, and in Act 5 he finds his son, and the son, Urvashi has hidden her son. She's living with Pururava still, but she has given her son away to someone else, and he finds the son, and then Urvashi says, okay, now I have to leave. But Indra comes and Indra says again from Nevathya, actually sends Narada and says, oh no, you can stay with Pururava still till he passes away. That is the Act 5. So allu kuda idide yenide, there is a little bit Velar that's coming now that all the love and the sadness and all this is over. So I picked it for that Act 4. There is so much, like he's going mad, right? In that going mad also, how much beauty and how he carries himself, how all these 8 things or more things that we talked about last week, this week, are all incorporated into that one act, is why I picked it. So that concludes the first topic that's given to me, which is acting emotions of men. Ivaga 3:30, so 15 ನಿಮಿಷ ಇದೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ? So I can talk about male and
ನಾನು timekeeper ಆಗೋಗಿದ್ದೀನಿ.
Padams and Javalis, male oriented Padams and Javalis we can talk about. Bharata Manasa we can talk or skip. Athleticism in Bharatanatyam we can talk or skip. I could also present my Sanchari or not.
You
ಸಂಚಾರಿ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಡಿ ಆಮೇಲೆ we can skip all those
ಇದೆಲ್ಲ I mean athleticism in dance na we can do it over coffee as well.
ಅಲ್ಲ ಅದನ್ನ we can move it to next class too. All others padams and javalis and
sounds good. Facebook live ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀರಾ?
ಇದನ್ನ ಮಾಡಿದೆ and your first ಇದನ್ನ ಮಾಡಿದೆ dance ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ. I'll probably publish this.
So ಇದು again same heroine. She is separated from she is in love with Brihadishwara of Tanjavur. She says ಸರಸಾಲನು ಇಪ್ಪುಡು ಮರಿಮಾನರ ಯಾಕೆಲ್ಲ ಇಷ್ಟೆಲ್ಲ ಪ್ಲೇ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಿ, ನಂದು ಮಾತು ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಕೇಳಬಾರ್ದ, ಇಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಬಾ ಅಂತ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಪಲ್ಲವಿ. ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಅನುಪಲ್ಲವಿ 2 ಲೈನ್ ಇದೆ. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಲೈನ್ ಈಸ್ I am in love with you, so you should come on the first line. So that first line, I am in love with you, is what I am going to do. ಏನಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅವಳು ಹೀರೋಯಿನ್ is sitting thinking of Brihadishwara, and then some flower falls on her face. So she looks at it and ಏನಾಯ್ತು ಅಂತ she picks it up and then she sees Kama. And then she says, Yakapa nange you are throwing arrows at me, sumne hogu anta. But he doesn't listen, of course. He throws more flowers at her. So she's angry, helpless. So what she thinks is, okay, buddhi kalisbeku ಇವನಿಗೆ. So anta heli hige ನೋಡಿ ಯಾವ್ದು flower is very nice. She says, oh adan matra hakak hogbeda nange anta. Of course he wants to do that, right? So he senses. So she picks it up and then saves all those. So Hariella torstale. So she has collected a lot of flowers that were thrown by our shot by Kama. So now ಅವಳು ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾಳೆ, ಇಷ್ಟೆಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡಿದೀಯ ನನಗೆ, ನಾನು ನಿಮಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಶಿವನ ಹತ್ರ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತ. ಅವನು ಓಡೋಗ್ತಾನೆ, ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಅವನು ಓಡೋದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಇವಳು ಹೇಳ್ತಾಳೋ ಅದು ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಐಡಿಯಾ, ನಾನು ಶಿವನ ಹತ್ರ ಹೋಗ್ತೇನೆ ಅಂತ ಹೋಗಿ then she will go to Shiva and then says, look, he has shot all these arrows at me, and because of that I am like all bothered. You should show me karuna, right? Karunakara ganuda hage start agutte. So you should show me karuna, you should come to me anta. ಅವನು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ, ಅವನಿಗೆ ಕೇರ್ ಇಲ್ಲ. He's like, I show him as like still not bothered. So ಅವಳೇನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾಳೆ, okay then I have to teach this guy lesson also ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ picks one by one and throws it at Shiva. And then as she throws it, it creates same as Kama's arrow, right? Creates like the first one creates love in him. And she says, oh ninge higayta, nangu hage agide. Oh ninge tutig mele bitta, oh now you want to kiss somebody. Oh that's what I am also experiencing. Oh nin kandu mele bitta, now you want to see beautiful things, your beloved. Nangu hage agide. Nin ಮೈಯಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ ರೋಮಾಂಚನ ಆಗ್ತಿದ್ಯಾ, ನನಗೂ ಹಾಗೆ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಬಾ ಇವಾಗ, you should be with me ಅಂತ. That's the end of the Sanchari. So I will do that, and then I want you guys to talk about that. So that's the main thing, not doing the Sanchari. So what are the implications? We can talk. I can give some guidelines on some questions, but let me. ಯಾಕೆ? that is the Sanchari. Now, so my heroine is she's bold. She's not timid. She has been with him before, so she knows what she wants. She knows that, oh, he's also into me. So then she takes liberties, many liberties. All this I know because of the words that come, right, before or after. So that is the heroine I've chosen. So now my questions are. This doesn't really happen like in mythology or like whatever religious background, right? So and Shiva actually burns Kama when Kama is shooting arrows. So how appropriate it is to do a Sanchari this way is my question. And why is she so confident that he wouldn't do that to her? How do we know? Okay.